Welcome back to Advanced Lessons in Millennial Money. I'm your host, Alexandra Gonzalez. Have you ever felt like there's just not enough time in a day, and when you really boil it down, you don't even know where that time went? Well, sometimes it's taking care of the kids, going to your job, even schoolwork, or staying on the couch watching Netflix and going through your Instagram. And so I really want you to be mindful on what's keeping you busy from truly accomplishing your goals. And so today, Robert and Kim go through their entire journey of entrepreneurship, and they really highlight what keeps them staying busy.
Kim and I have been married for like 30-something years now, but we started off with nothing. You know, people think, well, she married me for my money. That wasn't true because I was kind of between businesses. I had lost my second business.
Not only did you not have money, we were like in a lot of debt.
$800,000 in debt.
Yeah.
So she
Bad
didn't marry.
debt. Bad debt, not good debt.
Yeah. Well, it was just a learning experience.
It was a great learning experience, and we paid it all back.
Yeah, and like when I hear people talk about crowdfunding and all that, you have no idea what it feels like to pay off your investors when you screw up. So I was cringe when I hear, oh, we just crowdfunded that. I'm going, well, how are you going to pay them back?
That's the key. That's the key.
So when I met Kim, I thought she was, and she still is, the most beautiful woman, wonderful person in my whole life. I couldn't believe it. But I was testing her. You know, is she real or is she fake?
You were testing me?
Of course. I wanted to find out where I want to find, you know, like.
Okay, I guess I was testing you too, so I guess it's all even.
Well, I had nothing. I mean, you knew
you were driving the nice car. You lived on the beach in Honolulu. Oh, let's see, fake or real?
Yeah,
and you had no money.
I had no
fake or
expenses
real?
on those things.
Continue.
But anyway, a lot of our conversation with millennial money is, again, it's the financial statement, right? Income statement. So when I met Kim, I had zero, nothing. I put all of my assets into that business and we lost everything. So not only did I have nothing, I had $850K in investor I owed money. So that's when we met. So I'm starting to fall in love with her, which wasn't hard. But anyway, I wanted to test her. And so what was my first gift? We've been together about a month.
About a month, yeah. It was not jewelry. It was not a nice dinner out. It was an accounting course.
Yeah.
Very
romantic.
romantic.
What did most guys tempt you with?
Oh, a trip to Outer Island, like to Maui for the weekend or Kauai for the weekend.
And you know what that means, right, Alex? Let's say.
That means one room, one room, not two rooms, one room.
One room.
That was their gift to me. Yeah, right.
So I've been like the other slime dogs out there and say, hey Kim, you want to go to Maui? Which means let's have sex, right? That's what it meant. But I figured, no, I'm going to change. I'm looking for a different type of woman. So I said, Kim, there's an accounting course. Would you like to take it? And what happened?
Yeah, it was really interesting because I'm like, an accounting course. And I vowed when I left college.
And you have a business degree.
I have a business degree from university. And I vowed I would never set foot in a classroom again because I just couldn't stand what they were teaching me. I couldn't stand my college courses, high school courses. So I went, but it was an interactive game. We actually built a lemonade stand. We had different teams. We competed. We had to keep track of our income, expenses. We had to do inventory. We had to sell. We had to do all the things a business does. And what that course did, where he was just wanting me to understand assets and liabilities, what it did is actually it ignited my love of learning again. So that was actually a fantastic gift.
The best gift.
I found out I love to learn. It's just what I was learning I wasn't interested in before.
So that was in 83. And
84.
84?
Yeah, we met in 84. Yes.
We didn't.
Just thought mention that. Yeah.
Anyway, but out of that, we built the cash flow game together in 96 because we had so much fun in learning by games. And accounting was boring in school.
Accounting was boring, and when you talk about real versus fake, the cash flow game was people kept asking us, how did we get out of the rat race? How did we become financially free? And so everything on this game board, almost everything on here are things that we've done. So it's a real game based on our real experience.
A real way of learning.
The successes and a lot of the failures.
Yeah.
So again, using this diagram here, when I asked Kim, rather than go to Maui, which would have been an expense,
Yes.
okay, I'd rather spend the money here and see if she wants to take an accounting course. Again, this is my message to anybody, including millennials, is where is your head? You know, I know most millennials, they want a high-paying job. They want to be able to pay the rent and eat and all this stuff. And then you dream of the big house, a nice car and all that. But that's why 99% of Americans are broke, because their heads are in the wrong spot. So when I asked Kim if she would take an accounting course, it was just 2 days. You know, I wanted to see if her head could get into the asset column. That was the difference, wasn't it?
Yeah, and actually, it didn't happen right at that moment, but it's.
You fell in love with me?
Of course I did. Of course I did. But this started the journey on investing. This started the journey on assets. But I do remember the moment down the road where, just like everybody else, I was focused on the income column, get a job, get the pay raises. If you're an hourly wage, work more hours or raise your hourly wage. So I was always focused here. And then finally, this is after we'd actually bought some investment properties, the light finally went on, and I'm like, instead of focusing on acquiring income, what if we focus on just acquiring assets, that the assets go into the income
like
column.
this.
So that was a huge shift in my mindset. And once that shift happened for me, I don't think about the income column anymore. I just think about the asset column.
And that's our game called cash flow.
Yep.
And so when Kim and I met, we had nothing. It took us 10 years to go from nothing to financially free.
Wow.
So she was 37, I was 47. But that's the power of focusing on
Asset column.
assets versus liability. Most people are so busy working for money, so busy trying to pay their bills, and so busy buying liabilities they think are assets. So my first gift to Kim was the counting game to get her head in here, and today we're financially free. You know, that's the whole thing. So everybody can do it. It's a matter of putting your head into the right column. And then for me, it was in '73, I took my first real estate investment course here. I'm free.
Yeah.
You know, I lost money, made money back, but I never got out of the asset column.
We're still practicing here every single day. I'm working on a new project right now in the asset column. It's going to put a lot of cash flow into the income column because, again, we're focusing on the asset column, not the income column.
So we did this thing on silver. So one of the first asset type things we accumulated was silver.
Silver bars.
So tell
What was the price of silver back then? It was like
$1.50 or
yeah,
something.
it was-
$1.50 to $3 was going back
yeah.
and forth.
so.
And today it's 16.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we started acquiring silver bars.
Yeah.
Because we could
And-
afford that.
We were living in La Jolla, California at the time, and
We look good.
yeah. So our extra income, whatever extra cash we had, instead of putting into savings, we put it into buying silver bars. And little by little, we stacked them in our little closet in our bedroom, and it was in the back where the clothes hung over it. So we pushed it back there, and little by little, those stacks grew, just little by little. And
The building almost fell down because we had so much of it. No, it was-
and so then we were looking to buy a personal residence and a personal house. And we were going to buy in La Jolla, but it was very expensive and not really what we wanted. And long story short, we found this beautiful, gorgeous 1930s house in Portland, Oregon.
Wish we still had it. Huh?
Yeah, it was stunning. I mean, leaded glass windows, original tile, wood floors. Oh, it's beautiful. And we had no credit, bad credit, and no money for a down payment. And so the woman who owned the house was also a real estate broker. And we said, if you can get us financing, we'll pay you full price. And she struggled, and she
$200,000.
$235,000.
For a house that's probably worth $6 million today.
Yeah.
Because I always say to you, it's best when markets crash, and the Oregon market had crashed while California was going up. We had a spotted owl thing. The environmentalists were trying to stop the loggers from cutting down trees. You can't cut down trees, Oregon's economy crashes because they're lumber. So got this gorgeous multi-million-dollar house for $200,000.
Yeah. So this poor woman is trying to get us financing on our credit, which is shakier than anything can possibly be. And finally one day she calls me, Robert's out of town, and she says, we got the financing. We need to fund it tomorrow. And I'm like, what? She goes, we need to fund it tomorrow. I need $23,000 tomorrow. I'm like, I don't have 23. I'm like, oh my God, I don't have 23. It's that, we got to buy this house, and how are we going to do it? Well, I went to my little closet, opened it up, and there's all these silver bars. So I literally, Alex, put these silver bars in brown grocery bags. There was a precious metals dealer just a couple blocks from our house. Carried these things. I made like 5 trips. Carried all these bars down to the precious metals dealer, and he cashed them all in, and that's how we bought our first property.
Wow, so it started to feel
And it was
way
not an
before
asset,
that.
it was a
Yeah.
liability, but we knew that, and to this day we still buy silver, we still buy gold, we still keep that asset column strong.
Wow, and so that was you're the first property you guys bought?
That was our first liability. our
First
house.
liability,
Okay.
yeah.
So this is how the first property came about. Okay, so this is the whole thing here. So we have our big, gorgeous house. I mean, it was gorgeous, beautiful, on the hill, leaded glass.
Wow.
Geez. So then I said to Kim, I said, okay, Kim, you're pretty good at silver and gold now. Let's look at real estate as an asset. And this is the whole thing, fake, busy people. So again, most people are trying to focus on how to make more money here, pay off their bills, and buy a new car or something. So at this point here, because the real estate market was so depressed, we took our time, and rather than sitting at the bar eating chicken wings and drinking beer,
Which is always a fun thing to
yes,
do.
it's fun, we went looking for property. So we wasted our time. We didn't waste our time. We were busy going from house to house to house to house to house to house. And our rule of thumb is you have to look at least 100 properties to find one. So instead of wasting our time eating chicken wings and sitting in the bar, which we like to do, we spent our time looking for property.
Right.
So that's what happened.
It is, and one point to that is, you're busy if you're doing the same thing day after day after day after day after, you're not doing anything different. For me, when Robert started explaining what his rich dad taught him about property, for me to go look at property took me out of my comfort zone. Yeah. So the busyness, what I was doing was things that took me out of my comfort zone. So I was learning all the time. If I just kept doing the same thing, like, eating chicken wings, drinking beer every day at the bar, nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to change. I'm just going to end up the same place I am or worse. Yeah. So that took me out of my comfort zone. And then we found a little 2-bedroom, 1-bath house, right just blocks from where we lived. Really cute, had a little metal butterfly outside. It was really cute. And that was my very first property.
How much was
First
it?
investment property?
First investment property. It was $45,000. This is back in 1989.
That's incredible.
Actually, a few years ago, it sold again. Somebody sent it to me, and it was like almost $400,000, right? So $45,000 to $400,000.
See, I love market crashes.
Yeah.
I just love crashes. When everything's on sale, it's wonderful. Go ahead.
And so I also had to put down $5,000, and we didn't have it, which was the best thing. And this is what I want to say is don't let not having money stop you, because by not having money, it forced us to get really creative on how to come up with that $5,000. And we did. Yeah. And so we never let the fact, if we see something that we really want, especially in the asset column, we always can figure out a way to get it if we really want it.
So how did we get that 5,000?
2 ways. One is we got about $2,000. We looked at everything that we had, and we had a little bit in savings, and we had some silver and things like that. But the other thing that we did,
most of our silver had gone into the big house we lived in, and this little house is right down the street from us.
Yep.
In Oregon.
Yes. But the other thing we did is we had a business at the time, education business, and so we
Still do.
We took the database and we said, hey everybody, we're creating this great new product. We're going to launch it in this time, and if you buy it now ahead of time, you're going to get the special price. So we pre-sold the product.
Without having
it done. And so that way also we created the product exactly what was needed in terms of quantity. So people sent in, and that's how we funded the rest of the house, the down payment. Yeah.
Wow,
there's always a way to do it. There's always a way.
So this is the point. How much money did that property make you?
Well, monthly it made $25 a month.
Okay. Yeah, so it went from here to here, just $25.
Right.
And most people say, well, that's not enough money. But what increased was her knowledge. So that experience made her smarter. And really what makes you rich is what's up here, not the property. So, and that's why people are afraid of failing, or say, I can't have it, or I don't want to do toilets, I don't want some lousy excuse.
I was actually looking for a reason to not do this deal. I was looking for, oh, please give me something so I can say, no, I'm not going to do it, because that would have been easier.
Yeah.
There was going to be this steep learning curve if we went through and bought it. And it would have been easier, more comfortable not to. Yeah. So I knew that, and I'm like, no, I got to do this.
Her goal was to buy 20 properties in 10 years. Yeah. You see, you always have goals. So how long did it take you?
Put you in motion.
How long did it take you to get 20 properties? 10 years?
Instead of 10 years, it took 18 months. Because I understood, I got the game. I understood it. Yeah, and then it accelerates.
And the economy was terrible.
Yeah, so that was a big
People
plus.
were giving away the great real estate. And so I hear all this people, oh, no, the economy's bad, or real estate's bad, or that's when it's good. But then what happened, we moved here to Phoenix, and one day, how big was that property you just bought? 24 hours.
Oh, how big is it?
I mean,
it's a big property.
See, what happens is your knowledge increases. And if your knowledge increases, the money increases. So she bought this property right across, again, we have a big house in Phoenix, but right across the street was the best investment of your lifetime.
Best performing, and to this day, we're now restructuring it, putting in a different type of product, and it went from 7 million when we bought it to up to about 22 million today.
That's incredible.
Free and clear.
And it's a cash flow property.
That's incredible.
Yep.
So we're going to step it up now to 120 million,
Wow.
tax-free.
Wow. Yeah.
And the key is, it doesn't matter, how much we have today. I mean, you start with that little 2-bedroom, 1-bath house, or whatever it is for you. That's where you learn the fundamentals. The fundamentals there are the same on every property now. I mean, the formula is the same on every single investment property we have. It's the same formula, whether it's 2-bedroom, whether it's 500 units. It's the same formula.
And are we still in the asset column today?
Yes, yeah, that's our rule. Our rule is
We never leave it.
any dollar that comes into the asset column stays in the asset column. So even if we sell a property, which we don't do often, but if we sell it, we'll then take the proceeds from that sale and buy another property or another asset.
Wow. And so that's how you keep yourselves busy.
That's our busy. That's how we're busy.
That's
our
busyness. Finding
busyness.
investments.
Yeah.
Wow. And always learning and studying. And I'd say, if I know anyone who's busy, it's you guys. All of you, both of you are always traveling, always looking at properties, always doing podcasts, videos. I mean, I've never seen you guys not busy.
Now, the lesson I have for all young people and all, we're all equal. We have 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
It's what you do with the 24 hours that makes a difference. And so, the challenge for you guys, you have more distractions. I see young people sitting there, I don't know what the heck, how can you say so busy on that thing? I don't know. But that's why it's millennials, the fake generation. Your challenge is to figure out what's real and what's fake.
Yeah. And I think, thank you guys for also being here and teaching us. And I think, just like you mentioned, that we stay busy on our phones. Maybe the key for us millennials is finding courses that we can do on our phones and apps, just like you started off with your accounting course.
Right.
Or, I mean, we offer the cash flow game online on the app. So I think it's just a great learning tool to be, when you are busy, just log into an app and start your financial career through there.
And what happens if you go buy a silver coin today? It's going to cost you about $20 US. Just by, even if I pay $10, if I pay $20, all of a sudden I'm going to go, wow, I wonder what's silver doing today? And you go online, all of a sudden articles about silver will pop up, you're going to get interested. So I'm a big believer in putting some money into the game. Get some money in there, because if I put money in, my interest is going to go way up. And so will my education.
Yeah. And I think it's very powerful. And I think it's just finding a way of doing it and finding a way, paying that price to increase your financial intelligence. And it's amazing how one little coin can take you so far. So now you know what to do with your next paycheck. Start looking for assets to pay for your liabilities. And remember, start small, stay in the game, and stay busy. If you decide to change how you stay busy, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
ไม่รับรู้วัดกัน